The El Royale is split between two states, California and Nevada. Guests have the option of staying in either state, but yes, you should know that the rooms on the California side are more expensive. No matter which state you choose, something feels just a little bit off. So, does Bad Times at the El Royale deliver on these suspenseful thriller vibes hinted at in the trailers? Or should we stay at the Bates Motel once more instead? Let's talk about it in this review. The story begins by introducing us to the main characters and their general dispositions. However, as the story continues, we learn that that first impression was inaccurate because all of these characters have something to hide. Even the hotel has its own secrets, and this film wastes no time revealing those secrets to us, thankfully. And the actors in this film all do a really good job delivering these different personalities that all work together to help create this world that we're taking part in. However, there were two standout performances for me in this film, and those two actors who delivered those incredible performances were Louis Pullman, he plays Miles Miller, the front desk attendant, keeper of the hotel secrets, and Cynthia Everett, who plays Darlene Sweet. I think what made Louis's performance stand out above the rest is because going into the film, I didn't really know what to expect from him as an actor, and what I got from his performance was grade A. He delivers happy, concern, fear, regret, pain, sadness, and more. He is not the only actor in this film that has to give a performance that conveys a lot of different emotions, but he does run the gamut very nicely. Also, let's take a moment before we talk about this next actor to appreciate how this film's success really hinged on one actor's ability to sing. If her voice was not pure magic, this was going to be a very long and painful movie-going experience for us as an audience. And the actor with the magic voice is Cynthia Everett. There's scenes in this movie where she is just staring at the camera, singing to us, or she's walking back and forth in a room, singing to us. And her voice is pure magic. I was transfixed. An absolutely powerful voice. Loved it. Both Cynthia and Louis completely blew me away. Another interesting thing I noticed in this film was about 20 minutes into the story, I realized this could easily be adapted for live stage. For example, some of the scenes in this film just show a room with the actor kind of moving back and forth, doing whatever it is the actor needs to do in that scene, which is totally normal. But what was different about this was it's a wide angle shot. So as they're moving around the room, we aren't necessarily following them around the room from the camera's perspective. We're just kind of out in the audience like we would be from an audience perspective at a live theater show, kind of watching them move about the stage or move about the room. So there's this interesting aspect of like voyeurism that was added to this film because we're not necessarily in the room with them as they're moving around completing their blocking for the scene, but we're behind the glass, kind of watching into the room as they go about their moment in that scene. Also, this movie cuts back and forth between the different actors. And if this was adapted for the live stage, I could easily see how while one actor is doing their bit that we see in the film, all of the other actors are doing their bits, similar to what we get from like Noises Off, where you see people coming in and going, and then it flips around and you see people behind the scenes kind of doing their things. This could easily be adapted to the live stage like that, and I think with that transition, it would actually lessen the runtime for the live show, which I think would be a benefit for this story. In all, I really enjoyed my time in the theater with this film, but towards the end of the second act, it starts to slow down, it gets a little bit long, the pacing definitely takes a hit. And in my opinion, this film is absolutely longer than it needs to be. The runtime clocks in at 141 minutes, which is almost 2.5 hours long. And one thing I think they could have done to help kind of tighten up the story and lessen the runtime is go through and cut some of the long monologue scenes during the flashbacks. For example, the super long monologue from the music producer. We could cut that way down, get to the point faster, and let's move on. Also, the robbery in the prison scene. We can cut that way down and lessen that because by this point in the film, we have a really good idea of who these two characters are that we're doing the flashbacks for. We kind of understand what's going on with them because of all of the dialogue and all of the acting and all of the screen time we've gotten with these two so far by this point in this film. And finally, that flashback scene of Miles walking through the field of dead bodies. I thought we could go ahead and cut that completely. I do understand that it was supposed to be there to kind of help show some impact for the transformation that Miles is going to have towards the end of the film. but I think we kind of already got that feeling from the previous flashback, as well as everything that was happening in those scenes leading up to that transformative moment. Also, this might be controversial, but everything that happens with Emily, Billy, and Ruth, that whole storyline, by the end of the film, I felt like it was kind of unnecessary. It almost felt like it was this sort of MacGuffin in a way. So there you go, there's a few things that we could have go ahead and removed or just kind of lessened to tighten up the film, tighten up the pacing, and keep that runtime a little bit lower. And I don't think we would have lost any of the impact with those characters as well. Bad Times at the El Royale is playing at your local movie theater right now, and I am going to recommend a big screen viewing of this film. If you like movies that have incredible actors in it, the cast feels stacked, and you enjoy those films that are big budget-ish but still kind of feel indie, and you also like films that deliver a lot of really great performances, this movie will delight you. Also, for all my fellow Parks and Rec fans out there are 2 cameos in this film that I think you will enjoy. It's not a perfect film, but the enjoyment I had watching this film was greater than the issues I had in it. So because of that, Bad Times at the El Royale is getting both high fives from this guy. Bad Times at the El Royale is playing at your local movie theater right now. Check it out.